Good morning and welcome to Yoga for Everyday Athletes and normal people too. There is heat in Wisconsin, hence I'm wearing shorts, which is really nice. I'll probably be cold, but it's nice. The dog is barking, life is good. All right, we're starting in our seated position. And we are just focusing on our breath. Inhaling through our nose. And exhaling just by letting the air come back out. And just keep trying to get the breath into your belly. All right, good. Let's roll forward onto our hands and knees and come into a tabletop position, and we'll do some cows and cats, just a couple of them, just to work on our breath and work on opening our back a little bit. So we'll inhale, drop our belly, stick our butt out, lift our head up. And then exhale, tuck our hips under, arch our back. And just move with your breath. Let that be your guide. And inhale into, oh, I'm going backwards now. Inhale into your cow. And exhale into cat. And then bring your hands out, curl your toes under, come into a downward dog, which will just be here for a moment or two. Downward dog, the goal is always to try to create a straight line from your hips to your hands, which is always the challenging part. And then from your hips to your ankles, to your heels. So when you inhale, you can come up on your tiptoes, and exhale, come down on one heel and kind of stretch out your calf muscle. All right, let's look to the top of the mat. Inhale. And as you exhale, start to walk your feet forward into a forward fold. Inhale into a half lift. Exhale, forward fold, and then come all the way up. And so we're going to do a few sun salutations. We're just going to roll right back down. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, hands on the mat. Bring your right foot back into a lunge and just hold this for a moment. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, hips down. And then bring your left foot back into a plank. And we'll hold this for a moment. Inhale, exhale. Inhale back to a downward dog. Good. Inhale, and then walk your feet forward on the exhale. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, arms overhead. And come on down into a swan dive. And then inhale to a half lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Bring your left foot back into the lunge. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, down. Inhale, hips up. Bring your right foot back into a plank. Inhale and back to a downward dog. And inhale, walk our feet forward on the exhale, and we'll do that again. Inhale into a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale all the way down. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, right foot back into the lunge. See if you can bring it a little bit deeper on the exhale. Good. And then inhale your leg back to a plank. And then inhale. And as you exhale, push back to a downward dog. Inhale, walk your feet forward to a forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, forward fold all the way up. And then swan dive down. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, left foot back this time into your lunge. Inhale, and then as the exhale, move your leg back to a plank. I think I misspoke on the last one, but I'm sorry. Inhale and push back to a downward dog. Good. All right. Now we're getting warmed up. Inhale, and then as you exhale, walk your feet forward into a half lift as you inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands together this time, and then hands to heart center on the exhale. Bring your hands to your side. We're going to roll just into a traditional kind of warrior sequence, but we'll do it standing. So we'll take an inhale, take your right leg back, drop your heel, and come into a warrior two. And we're going to hold these just for a little bit to build a little bit of hip strength. So all three of these poses, the warrior two, reverse warrior, and side angle, the goal is all to keep your body squished as if you were being squished between two panes of glass. So the first thing is to check your front knee, that it's staying over your front ankle. Good. Second is to check that you've got weight on your back leg, that it's mostly straight, but it's not locked out. You want to feel like there's balance between your two legs. And then on the inhale, you can kind of roll your shoulders around, and exhale, try to straighten them out so that your hips follow and you are just as flat as you possibly can. Breathe into your belly. Good. Now we're going to come into a reverse warrior. So you want to try to keep your hips and your shoulders in the same plane, but lift your left hand up, drop your right hand. And now we're just trying to work on our left, opening up our left side body. You can take your right hand and wrap on like behind your lower back. Inhale is coming up with the torso. Exhale is to lean your torso back. So it's like you're trying to drop your right shoulder to your right knee, sort of lifting up your arm and kind of pointing it backwards. And again, think about your front knee and your back leg. A little more weight on your back leg this time. Okay, now we're going to come into an extended side angle. So it's going to be the same thing. You're just going to try to bring your left shoulder now to your left knee. Your left forearm is coming onto your thigh, and you're going to bring your right arm, pointing it forward and up as if kind of towards the seam of the ceiling and the wall. So the inhale is to let the shoulder come down. The exhale is to try to rotate your torso so that your right shoulder is on top of your left. Try to feel as if there is a straight line from your hand, right hand to your right heel. And just breathe into your belly and then exhale and try to rotate. Good. Now, going to rotate your hands up, and we're going to rotate your feet. So now you're pointing backwards, but coming into a warrior two, the opposite direction. We're doing a little bit of strength work today. All right, so now my right knee is over my right ankle. Back leg is, again, straight. There you go. All right, so the inhale is trying to relax your shoulders. The exhale is just trying to get your hands pointing forward and back. Think about your, there we go. And just really try to get in as flat as you can. You're looking out over your your right middle finger. Good. All right, one more breath. All right, now raise your right hand, just tilt your torso over and come into reverse warrior. And so the inhale is to your torso is coming up. The exhale is your torso leaning back. So you're opening up your right side body. Good, one more. All right, now try to just keep your torso just where it is. Bring your right shoulder to your right knee, and then have your forearm on your thigh. Bring your left hand up and out. So again, it's pointing at that seam between the ceiling and the wall. And again, we are just trying to inhale, relax the left shoulder, and exhale, rotate so that it's flat and you're still able to be squished by the walls. It's like an action movie. You are the ninja. You're going to use your yoga skills to not be squished, because they're, of course, going to stop just at that place where you can still do this. Then I suppose you could like rest against the wall, couldn't you? Yeah. It's electrified. That's what it is. You can't touch it. All right, now this is going to be the challenging part. We're going to roll everything back and do the same thing going the other way, but we're going to do it quickly because it's getting tiring. So now we're in warrior two here. Reverse warrior, bring your hand up. Inhale. Exhale into side angle. Inhale, rotate everything around your feet into a warrior two on the other side. Good. Inhale and exhale into reverse warrior. Inhale and exhale into the side angle. And then inhale and exhale. Relax everything and walk to the top of the mat and get a drink, because that was a lot. Although we're not done. All right, so we are in our mountain pose. And we're going to go through one more strength routine sequence with crescent lunge to a lightning, but then to airplane pose. And we won't be holding these like we normally do. And the goal is to have a balance pose. All right, so the breath's into our belly, through our nose. Take an inhale, step back with your right leg into a crescent lunge so that you are fairly wide apart with your feet. Arms are up. Whoa, morning balance. Okay, push back with your back heel so that you're pushing against the ground or towards the ground with your back heel. Get the inhale and exhale. Good. Good. Now inhale, and as you exhale, drop your hands so that they come behind you. And now you're in lightning pose. Good. Now we're going to inhale and exhale into airplane, which is going to be coming up on your left foot, and it's a balance pose. So you can leave your right toes on the ground, or you can lift them up into the air. Find a spot on the floor to stare at. Keep your left knee bent. You'll feel this in your left glute and in your left thigh. And drop your foot down into a mountain. Nicely done. Good. All right, walk your feet out a little bit. That was good. Those are hard. A lot of isometric strength being built up in your glutes, which is why we do it, because it's really a powerful isometric strength work. All right, inhale, bring your left foot back into your crescent lunge. All right, arms up, rise up. We've been listening to Hamilton a lot lately. All right. Breath into your belly. Drag it down there. Good. All right. Inhale. Bring your hands down. Lightning pose. Lean forward like you are fast as lightning. Good. And we'll inhale and exhale. Roll forward on to your right foot into airplane. Find that spot on the floor to stare at. And then come on up and drop your leg. Okay, good work. All right, we're going to do some work on the mat now. So let's be in our mountain pose, hands at your side. We'll inhale, arms up overhead, hands down, come down to a forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Bring your hands to the mat, walk your feet back into a plank. Again, we'll hold this for a breath or two. Inhale and exhale back to a downward dog. And then inhale, bring your right knee forward and we'll come into a pigeon pose. And we'll come into a sleeping pigeon pose today. So first of all, your right knee is forward, your right ankle is kind of in front of your left thigh, and then scooch your left knee back as far as comfortable. And then flatten the top of your left foot. Come down onto your elbows if you can. If you need a block, you can always do that. But the goal here is to be a little bit lower today. All right, now the movement when we are holding this pose is going to be to kind of rock your hips corner to corner in a way. So it's not going to be side to side because that's not how we're set up right now. So the inhale is to bring your left hip bone closer to the mat. And then the exhale is to bring your right hip and your right butt cheek closer to the mat. So you're moving your hips side to side. And then exhale, you bring your hip closer to the mat. And just keep moving. There you go. All right, good. Now curl your back toe under, put your hands back on the mat, bring your right leg back into the downward dog again. All right, inhale, come up on your tiptoes, push one heel down. Come up on your tiptoes on the inhale, on the exhale, push the other heel down. And then bring your left knee forward, come down on the mat, roll your left foot around so that your heel is in front of your right thigh, and then scooch your right knee back. Come down onto your elbows, if you can, or onto a block. Wow, dog is barky this morning. I wonder what's outside. That's the sound of another dog. And now we're working on bringing your left hip, your left butt cheek to the mat on the exhale, your right hip coming forward. On the inhale, and just rolling back and forth. Not a lot of movement. You're just trying to make your hips rotate and move. Just keep working with your breathing. Inhale and roll to the right. Exhale and roll to the left. There you go. Excellent. Okay, and now the fun transition. Drop your left butt cheek on the mat, bring your right foot around, and we'll come in to a butterfly pose. And butterfly is having both feet together. And in this butterfly, we are going to just work on opening up the insides of our legs a little bit. We were just working on the outsides with the pigeon. So we're going to lift up our torso on the inhale, reach forward on the exhale. You can touch your toes or mat, because the goal is not to pull yourself. Then inhale and come back. exhale and reach forward. And as you exhale, just feel your knees start to fall closer to the ground. And you're just relaxing in, letting your all the stringy bits in the inner thighs that hold us upright when we walk and stand, but don't get stretched very much. That's what we're working on right now, just lengthening those and moving those. Good. All right, now we're going to roll over onto our right side on the mat and have our knees at a 90-degree angle coming forward. Both knees stacked on top of each other. So I'm on my right side, my left knee is on top of my right knee. Taking my right hand and putting it on top of my left thigh, reaching forward with my left hand. And I'm going to inhale and then exhale and open the pages of the book. And so my knees stay on the mat and together. My hand just kind of helps them stay there. And then the exhale is always going to be trying to bring my left shoulder and the back of my left hand towards the mat. Just, you'll feel this in your lower back. You'll feel this maybe on the outside of your left hip, maybe in your shoulders. And we're just rotating. We didn't do a lot of rotational movement in our practice this morning, so we're just going to end with that. Good. All right, now let's flip over to the other side. Now we're on our left side, or whatever side you weren't on the last time. Excuse me. And then we're going to have our knees again at a 90-degree angle. Left hand on your right thigh, reach forward with your right hand and open up. The only part of this that's really important is that you keep your knees at a 90-degree angle to your torso or your thighs, really, so that you are on an L shape, so that you're able to get at your lower back gets a nice rotation. That's the goal here. I just got a little back pop in my lower back, which is always a bonus. Inhale. We're just exhaling and letting it fall open. All right, let's do one more breath here. Come up to a seated position. Good. Not a very graceful transition, but that's okay. All right, find your breath down into your belly as you inhale. Good, so have your hands at your side. Inhale, bring your arms up. Scoop up the good energy, bring your hands together as you exhale and bring the energy into you. Thank you for joining me this morning. Namaste. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Have a great day. I hope that you get outside, enjoy the weather. Take care. See ya.